boys struggling. And what should we do
Man
about
epidemic
it?
has gotten so bad. The lonely man epidemic has gotten single.
Hey everybody, it's Sam. I'm a little sick right now, so if my voice is shit, just ignore it. But welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about male loneliness and male depression. I just want to start with a few things. One, I understand that this has been a really hot topic, specifically on TikTok, about male loneliness isn't real, like men are, this and that. Like, I just want to make it clear, like, I'm not going to come at this as like a, fucking white knight female savior being like, my poor baby men. Like, that's not what it's gonna be at all. I am coming at this from a feminist perspective, so please do not watch the video and then go into my comments like, I don't care about men. Like, I know I don't like men either, like, I get it. And I also just want to give a trigger warning for suicide and abuse. But anyway, let's get started. In the recent years, it is becoming abundantly clear that the men are not all right. With the rise of influencers like Andrew Tate and red pill ideology, many people who are not familiar with the manosphere might be confused as to what all the buzz is about. Well, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that shows that men are suffering from insane loneliness and depression and seem to have no way out of it. So what exactly is going on with men, and what can we do to help? According to a YouGov poll in the UK, 1 in 5 men said they did not have a close friend. 1 in 3 men said they did not have a best friend. On the other hand, the statistics showing female loneliness were a lot lower. There were hundreds of statistics and videos talking about how men are feeling even more lonely than in previous decades. And I'm sure you've even seen it more anecdotally in your life, whether your boyfriend struggles with talking about his feelings, maybe you can tell that your dad has issues and he refuses to talk about it, the rise of Andrew Tate and his followers, maybe you see it in school, the rise of incels on the internet, and others. It is extremely clear that from that, along with the uprise in violence in today's society, that something is going on. Well, I believe that a lot of these issues have to do with the pressures we put on men as a society. Yes, I'm talking about toxic masculinity. The term toxic masculinity has kind of become a buzzword nowadays, so I want to bring everyone back to the actual meaning of the term.
The term refers to a tendency that men in many societies have to value and exhibit excessive levels of aggression, risk-taking, and stoicism, to the exclusion of traits like modesty, moderation, and emotional sensitivity. It also refers to the exaggerated stereotypes and attitudes our society has about men because of these tendencies.
So, as this YouTuber explains, toxic masculinity is the way society pressures men to act a certain way and to be a certain way that ends up harming the man and in turn eventually harms the women. When we talk about helping stop toxic masculinity, it is being said in a way to help the men. We want men to be better. This might include stopping phrases like boys don't cry or boys will be boys. These phrases are inherently toxic and only perpetuate more sexism and create more issues in men's lives. The expectation to be a provider, to be strong, to be stoic, to be the breadwinner of the house and to never show weakness because it's gay and feminine. These are issues that men face constantly, even if they don't realize it. The idea of alpha and sigma males, the idea of being a high-value man, otherwise women won't want you. They either perpetuate disgusting societal standards about men or they perpetuate stereotypes about women, such as men have to be rich because women are gold diggers. Not only is this not true, but the stereotype is harming both the man and the woman in this scenario. So, how would toxic masculinity affect male loneliness? Well, in the statistics that we discussed earlier, there are a large percentage of men that say they do not have close friends. In order to understand how this correlates, we need to understand the difference between male and female friendships. Female friendships tend to be the main thing you think of when you think of a best friend. Sleepovers, gossip, crying to each other about something that pissed you off. There tends to be a large amount of solidarity and comfort within female friendships. When you're having issues with something, you go to your friends to discuss it with them. With men, however, it tends to be a lot different. Male friendships are very surface level. They come over, you drink a beer, you watch a football game. There isn't much more to it. It's very rare that you see men genuinely talking about their feelings or discussing something that's important to them. I tell my boyfriend all the time that if he's feeling sad and I'm not around to talk to his friends, to which he claims he doesn't have friends or that they wouldn't understand. It always confuses me because he has many friends he would be able to talk to. Of course, this isn't all men. I'm not going to assume that every male friendship is like this. I'm just saying in general, in my experience. In a many males' perspective, friends are just people you talk to and occasionally hang out with. Lack of real friendship dynamics mean that men aren't getting their emotions out. They're bottling them up and pretending like they aren't there. They won't talk to their girlfriend, if they even have one, because they're told it will make them look weak. They won't talk to their parents. They don't have real friends to talk to, and they just keep everything inside. According to mensline.org, men often feel that they need to be self-reliant and provide for their loved ones, so it is not appropriate to express their emotions. This behavior can be reinforced in the stereotype of the heroic male, so often represented in popular culture. Fearless, resourceful, stoic, and usually facing adversity alone. These characters tell us a lot about what is considered to be the ideal male behavior within our society. Although there is nothing wrong with being stoic in of itself, there can be actually detrimental effects from hiding your emotions to both yourself and those around you. Suppressing your emotions can cause increases of anxiety, extreme depression, and other mental health issues. And we can all agree that when there's an increase with mental health, there's an increase in violence as well. Rates of violence against women have been on the rise for years now. According to unwomen.org, in 2022, around 48,800 women and girls worldwide were killed by their intimate partners or other family members. This means that, on average, more than 5 women or girls are killed every hour by someone in their own family. Along with that, 1 in 3 women have been subject to sexual violence from a partner or non-partner. These statistics are insane. As for the correlation between depressed men and violence against women, a Swedish study in 2017 shows that depressed or mentally ill people are 3 times more likely to commit violent acts such as homicide or violent assault. Now, going back a bit, I mentioned that toxic masculinity doesn't just affect women. Men are not only more likely to commit violence, they are also more likely to commit suicide. ASPF.org claims that in 2021, almost 70% of the suicides have been white men. That number is an astronomical amount, and it shows that there's a clear problem in our society. From all of these stats that I've given, it's clear that if we fight the toxic masculinity problem firsthand, it could help a lot with the loneliness problem and the depression that men have been experiencing. I also want to make it clear that this loneliness problem isn't just about men. There is a huge loneliness epidemic going on for men and women alike. This could be due to a lot of reasons, such as COVID-19 or even just our cell phones. The reason why I'm talking about issues that only affect men is because it is clear more in men than anything else, and it is causing harm to other people. So we understand now that men are having issues. So what exactly is the effect on this? Well, it seems that a lot of lonely young men are taking a liking to the misogynistic ideology of Andrew Tate. I doubt I have to explain who Tate is to all of you, as he has been a hot topic for the last year or so. Tate advocates for men to stop acting like pussies, and that women are sluts and whores, along with other toxic opinions. Tate has made his rounds with young men on the internet, and it's no myth that a lot of young men like him. According to Savanta.com, 1 in 5 young people claim to have a positive opinion on Andrew Tate. 1 in 5 might not sound like a lot, but that is millions of young boys who are agreeing with Tate's ideas. I'm sure most of you know about Tate's misogyny, but I'm not here to talk about that aspect today. Tate makes it very clear that he does not believe in depression and thinks men should not express their emotions. The toxicity of this claim by itself is a huge problem, along with the fact that he has such a huge influence on so many men, and instead of making a positive difference, he reinforces male stereotypes and claims that someone cannot be a high-value man if they're a pussy or if they feel depressed.
Like a man. Let me tell you something. Depression's not real.
Feeling things and still acting like a man. Again, that means that you're feeling things, but then what? Keeping it inside, suppressing it. Again, it's important to recognize the time and the place to express certain emotions. You shouldn't be breaking down at work if the job doesn't go right. You shouldn't be wailing if you lose your phone. This goes for men and this goes for women. But if you're experiencing emotions, keep in mind emotions are different from feelings. Emotions are actually biological responses. Something is going on in the human brain. It is a biological phenomenon. So if you're experiencing emotions, that's still important to address that.
So, as Hunter Avalon explains in this stream clip, promoting the idea that depression isn't real is inherently dangerous because it forces a man to not express his biochemical reactions to certain events. Tate continues to go on in this video clip explaining how you can feel depressed, but actual clinical depression is not real. There is so much science to back up how this is bullshit, and while yes, someone can feel depressed without having clinical depression, that does not mean that somebody cannot be clinically depressed. Tate recommends simply going to the gym or making a lot of money to fix all your problems. Again, this continues the idea that men are meant to do nothing but provide. You're saying that a man can only be happy and have worth if he's able to provide the traditional things that traditional men provide.
Your original question about why men are killing themselves, because life for a man is harder than life for a woman. Most men live depressing lives. Women have an innate value that prevents them from ever being truly depressed. You can be the fattest, ugliest bitch in the world. You can go to the club tonight and get some dick. You can't. True or false? True or false? You can always get a new experience. At least you can feel wanted for 10 minutes by that fucking crazy Congolese dude who'll bang anything. But at least you'll feel wanted for 10 minutes, right? For most men out here, they can't even feel wanted. Their wife left them. No, they're invisible to women. Their kids don't talk to them. They're just not wanted. They're not wanted by, of course they're depressed. This is a unique situation that happens to men. This does not happen to women. So of course more men kill themselves. On top of that, society has huge burdens on men. You can be a woman and be 40 and be broke. No one gives a shit. If you're a man and you're 40 something and you're fucking broke, you ain't got a car, people are a bit like, how the fuck did you fuck your life up, bro? You're 40, you ain't got a car. We're supposed to be smart. We're supposed to be rich. Supposed to be interesting. Got to have jokes, got to have child lines.
So what makes this clip interesting is that I honestly agree with almost everything Tate is saying here, other than the women have it easier than men and the really, really vulgar and disgusting misogynistic language. I agree that men have heavy burdens put on them and that men have trouble feeling wanted. However, it's ironic that Tate says these oddly based things and then perpetuates the exact ideas that cause men to feel this way in the first place. He makes it a huge deal to have money, bitches, and be strong and stoic. So is he not forcing those burdens on men himself? Because who set this system up? Because it wasn't the women. He completely contradicts his own opinions that he shouts every day in just this one clip. That's why it is so dangerous for young men to be interested and attracted to Tate's ideology, because it promotes toxic masculinity and the idea that men simply need to get a grip and get everything together. Men can never get better unless we start to drop this idea that men are only providers. Of course, it's okay to want a provider. It's okay if you want somebody who's going to take care of you financially, or if you want someone strong and to treat you like a princess. My boyfriend gives me the princess treatment constantly. I get it. But it's the idea that your significant other should be more to you than just a provider. He isn't there to just give you children and a perfect life. He is there to be your partner and your lover. Same thing with your male friends, that you're not just your providers. Nobody is saying that traditional masculinity is toxic. It is the forced behavior on men to act a certain way. This is something that Tate does not seem to understand, as seen as this clip here.
Large contingent of men out there who don't want to wear makeup, who don't want to be girls, who don't want to be told they're toxic because they want to go to the gym, who want to drive nice cars, who want to have money, who want to have hot chicks. And there's nothing wrong with us. We are not evil. We are not bad. We're not misogynistic. We're not out to hurt anybody. Let me tell you one more thing. When bad things happen, they call men like us. The feminists who hate us and call us toxic, the second they have trouble, they'll call a police officer. Do you think they want a feminist male to turn up or a man like me and you? They need us.
What Tate doesn't understand here is that masculinity, not wearing makeup, going to the gym, being rich isn't the problem. It is the forced societal masculinity onto men. And the part about the police officer just makes no sense because no shit, we're going to call someone who's trained to handle the situation, man or woman. I'm not going to fight the fire or take down the shooter myself, am I? So what exactly can we do about male depression? Well, if you're a woman, I would suggest trying to be more caring towards your significant other or friend. Try to get them to talk about their feelings more and try to make more connections. Help them out the best you can because you might not know what they're going through. And if you're a man, I would best recommend self-care and trying to make more connections. You are more than what you provide for others. You should reach out to your friends and do other things, and you should try to learn and express your feelings as well. Of course, I'm not an expert, so don't take any of my words for fact, but that's just some stuff I had thought of. And if you're an Andrew Tate fan, get the fuck off my channel. If you're a misogynist, get the fuck off my channel. I am all for men getting better. I am all for men being better, but I absolutely do not fuck with misogynists. So I do not want anybody who is a, if you're a Tate fan, you probably wouldn't be watching this video, but I don't want anybody who thinks that I'm speaking for the men. I'm a, what is it, fucking MRA, men's rights activist? Yeah, I'm not fucking one of those, so don't act like I am. But anyway, that's a fucking tangent. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. And if you want to support me even more, check out my Etsy shop. You can also commission me for some art using the email in the description. Bye-bye!